no. No, 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 no. What's happening, people? We're back with another video. And unbelievably, we've reached 100 subs. Well over 100 subs now. That's crazy to me. I'll take that any day of the week. That 100 people who subscribed to my stuff. And we got 500 views. I think it's doing better than that now on the last video. So hopefully you can stick around and continue to see the journey of this car. And very, very shortly, we've got a track day coming up, which I'm proper super excited about. A couple of the lads in the group chat, the banter's flying around. You know what it's like if you're in a group chat with lads who've got track cars. The banter's flying around about French cars, Japanese cars. It's been absolutely mint. But today's video, we're just going to try and do a rear wiper delete on the car today, and I'm just going to show you some track day prep, really. What you should do, what you should bring the kitchen sink if you really wanted to. That's what I normally do, because if you're in a French car, you're probably all going to break down. So bring everything, is what I would say. So first of all, you obviously want to open the boot. Don't know why it took me so long to do a rear wiper delete, actually. But let's get started to it. You can see there's a couple of Torx bolts here, a couple of bolts here, and we need to get to the wiper motor. A couple of Torx bolts there. I should just pull that off with some plastic trims. Remove the wiper blade. So that's what's going to happen next. There's a little tab under here, and you push under there, and that pops out, and that reveals the 13mm knot bolt. So you get the 13mm bolt off. That comes up like so. You want to be careful not to let that knot drop onto your boot and mark your boot. And there we go. That's the knot off. Now that is looking crusty, and I bet that's going to be a pain to get off. Let's get these little things popped out, which should reveal some bolts. T25s, T20s in fact, actually. So you want to take these out. There's one in here, one there I believe, and then it should just pop down. So let's get on with that. One more bolt here. Bolt, I don't know why I keep coming in bolts, the T20 Torx screws. And that should be the last one. Missed a bolt there. Don't know why I keep calling them bolts, because of the screws. And that's how you get to your wiper motor. So these are actually a pretty crap design. Well, you want to take this sensor out here, so that's what powers the wiper motor. That sends a signal to there, but they're actually pot riveted in. So you want a 8mm drill bit with a quite. You just want to drill these pot rivets out here. One wiper motor deleted from the car. If you had all that together, it's probably last night's kebab. does actually feel a lot lighter though, I'm not going to lie. So maybe it did take a little bit of weight out, but yeah, not a great deal of weight, but the rest of the car's stripped, so why not. So the next thing I want to do is dechrome the boot. You can't debadge Clios because it's part of the boot lot. That's part of the boot lot, and I don't know why I've kept them chrome for ages. I was at the Clio Sport Festival last weekend and we bumped into Diamond Performance, and apparently these are handmade and these will turn these black, so hopefully we'll get these on the car and see what they look like. So what holds these on is just double-sided sticky tape. It's quite clever actually. Don't think there's any right or wrong way with these. Just literally go over the top and you press down on them. Yeah, I do actually think that looks better. Shout out to Diamond Performance, they're bang on. So, bare minimum, you want to check your rear lights working. I don't think they're too bothered about your front lights working, because you'll see a lot of track cars with basically bits of plastic in there or a cold air feed, especially on clear indicators. So if someone else is faster coming than you, they can see that you're going to pull over and what your intentions are on the track really. Basically that. Next thing, you want to make sure your battery is nice and secure and don't move around too much. Again, if it's under the engine bay, make sure all your mountings and stuff, and give it a good shake and see if it don't move them, especially your battery terminals, so they can't move anyway. Because I've seen a lot of times where people have got loose battery terminals and they lose all power on track and they're like, what the hell's gone on? And it was just down to the terminals. Next thing you want to know, security of your seat. Does it rattle around? Your seat, that is quite fixed. They've always got a little bit of flex in them, but that is pretty solid. But you do want to go over your bolts. I've seen a lot of people fix these seats in and they don't put Loctite in on the bolts down here. So if you haven't got any Loctite, just go over your bolts, make sure your passengers are all right as well. Go over your passenger seat, make sure you go over all your bolts and they're all tight, look, and they shouldn't go anywhere. But check your passenger ones as well, because they do come loose if you don't put Loctite in them. But we've got 4 points, just give them a good old tug. Make sure all your eyelets are free and not twisted up. So when you put your belt on, I mean that was twisted up to be fair with it, but make sure that's not all twisted up when you get in the car. So if you do get into a big smash or whatever, you don't want to move basically. From the previous video, fire extinguisher. Even if you have to shut one in the glove box, they're handy to have. If you have a fire, again, you can be the first one on the scene. Now your recording devices, whether you've got a GoPro or an Insta360, you want that nice and secure. You don't want this, because most people wear open face helmets now, you don't want that becoming a projectile and hitting you in the face just because it's not secured properly. I actually use Tom's wired remote at wiredremote.com. I actually use his GoPro. Tom's a nice lad, give him an email, check his Facebook page out. But I'll just put the ignition on here. Hear that? It starts recording. Just one button and we're recording the whole session. No batteries. It's quite a good kit actually. Give him a check out, check his Facebook page out. Now this is one for the passenger princesses. You sat here, you're having a good time, the session's going well, your driver's well into getting overtaken by everything. And then you think, oh my god, I should start recording this, and you end up doing this. You get your phone out, you start recording around what's going on, you're racing something, and you will get black flagged by a marshal, and it will point at both of you. You will get black flagged. You will get a right telling off when you come in, and they'll say, it's in, we've told you before in the debrief, blah, blah, blah. You shouldn't have your phones out. You don't want that. If you get into a big accident, you're about to hit the barrier, coming out, hitting you in the face, or hitting the driver in the face. Massive projectile that is. You definitely don't want to be holding your phone recording what you're doing. Just sit there and have a good time. Another one, cheap as out. Get them off a Lucky Man if you're abroad, or off Amazon or whatever. Some sunshades. Keep that sun. I always bring two, one for me, one for the passenger. Keep that sun off your eyes. Sun strips can only do so much. It's same as your sun visors, they can only do so much. Bring a set of these, they're a lifesaver. Especially in the morning as the sun's coming up. That sun will blind you. As I said before, if your battery's in here, check your terminals, check all they're alright. Check your coolant level. Always check your coolant level. See if it's not overfilled as well, because you're going to be going full bore. Oil. Always get your oil out. Get that wiped down. Check your oils. Some cars, if you're fully forged or anything like that, you want to probably go half a litre over. Depends on your driving style, if you're going to be revving it all the time. And screen wash as well. Screen wash is another big one. Your window gets dirty, make sure that's full. Just check for any leaks. If you've got any big leaks, obviously you don't want to go on track. Another thing, good jack, good sturdy jack. Change your tyres. Again, if you've got a normal road car, you might just stay on your road tyres all day. But if you're getting a bit more into it, I always change to semis, and I use Dureza DZ03s. Depending on the car, you want to find your strongest sill point, or your jacking point on your sill. If you've got something Japanese, I wouldn't recommend that, because your jack might go straight through the sills. I'd find something here on your axles or a subframe. If you're going to change your wheels onto semis while you're there, I always recommend bringing two sets of tyres. So you've got a set of tyres to, if it rains, these aren't too bad in the wet. And also you've got something to go back home on. You don't want to go home on bold tyres. If you haven't got a trailer, that is. Axle stands. Get them on your sills. Get them somewhere structural. Don't let the jack come down on you. Checking your brake pads. Get in there. They look like they've got another session in them. I always bring a set of discs and pads. You want to check for any leaks around the bleed nipples, because we just recently bled the brake nipples on this car. Any leaks, anything amiss on the drive shaft or anything like that, just check for any brake leaks or any weeping or anything like that, and just nip them up if you have to. Also recommend checking if there's any movement whatsoever in there, and there isn't. Check all your ball joints, your bottom ball joints, any movement, get a bar, move them around, see if there's anything going on in there. The last thing you want to do is go on track and all that's moving. Same with the rears really. Check your bleed nipples. These are probably one of the worst designs on the back of the Clios. They always leak at the piston at the back of there, and I probably had about 6 or 7 sets of these. But shout out to Kev, he sent me out some brand new ones, but I'm on my old ones because I managed to rebuild them. But he sent me some brand new ones out next day, and these Kev at MPH Automotive, give him a shout out because he's been brilliant. Anything you need next day, he's usually got it in stock for Clios. I don't know about other cars, you could probably check his website. Torque wrench. Every car is different, but this is 120 Newton meters on this, and you just want to go all over your bolts to hear the clicking noise. Simple as that really. What I recommend doing is going out for a session. If you just change your wheels, go out for 10 minutes, go over them all over again, because you'll find that they come loose. Tyre pressures as well. I ain't got my tyre pressure gauge because I borrowed it to my mate, but you want to go down to about 28 psi, depending if you're front wheel drive, or if you're four wheel drive, you probably want to stay about 30, but you want to go down to about 28. Come in, check your tyre pressures after you've had a good session, and I promise you they'll be about 33, 32 psi. You're always getting psi, so I'd keep an eye on them. You don't want to be going out on balloon tyres, you want them grippy as anything. This is how far we go. We bring a full toolbox, we bring loads and loads and loads and loads of spares, tools, axle stands, jump leads, keywheel ties, torque wrench, spare calipers, spare pads, angle grinder, drill bits, wiring equipment, whatever you need on the day, just to keep you going through the day in case you get any issues. Oh, no. What's that here? And there we go, guys, that's the end of the video. Thanks for sticking around. Please like, please subscribe, it goes a long way, honestly. Absolutely buzzing that we've got 100 subs. I know I've mentioned it at the start of the video, but I'm buzzing with all of you that's watching this stuff. But yeah, do you bring more stuff than I bring? Are you more prepared than me? Leave in the comment section if you do. I know there's plenty of lads out there doing track days, and you could probably tell me some tips. What I got wrong, tell me. But I'm absolutely buzzing for it now. Now we've packed some of the tools away and everything, and got the tyres out and checking all the car over. It's coming home like this track day is actually about to begin. I can't wait to meet up with the boys. I'll see you at Donington, lads, and I'll see you lot there.